Avatar: The Last Airbender ran for 3 seasons in the mid-2000s on Nickelodeon and followed characters who could manipulate one of the 4 natural elements: water, earth, fire, or air telekinetically. But with 3 new movies currently in development, which other characters from the show deserve their own spin-off? Today, we're discussing which characters from the show might be in for their own special treatment when it comes to spin-offs. Stay tuned. First up, it's Avatar Aang himself. Anyone who watched the original series will know that Aang was the main man across its epic run, but there's also loads we can probably still explore about Aang himself. Some would argue that we don't need a spin-off about a main character, as the original is essentially about Aang. However, Aang's story could potentially still be intertwined into that of Zuko's, as the pair become pretty tight by the end of ATLA. There's also Korra's story to consider, and where Aang could fit into that. Could he help her regain her connection to her past life? Any focus on Aang could show him during his final days and allow him to say goodbye properly, or possibly follow him as an adult as he raises and trains the kids. Whether or not this pans, we're not sure. What do you guys think about the chances of an Aang spin-off? We're talking Sokka next. Stay with us. Sokka is of the most original characters across the whole show, and whilst there are other non-benders, Sokka is one of a kind. The ability he has to take down entire armies with just his trusty boomerang and sharp tongue is second to none, and whilst others like Asami and Varrick used advanced weapons, Sokka doesn't particularly need them. A movie featuring Sokka would surely be one of the most popular, after Aang of course, and would almost certainly provide fans with plenty of laughs. With Sokka front and center, it would allow fans to explore the mentality of a non-bender and to really understand their perspective. And there are plenty of storylines for writers to get into as well. Could we see him head out on an adventure with the Kyoshi warriors, as well as Suki? Of course, there's plenty of other options too. Would you guys like a Sokka spin-off? Katara is coming up next. Another main character who would surely be a super popular option for a spin-off movie, Katara is the character from the original show who has probably shown the most personal growth over the series. Of course, she's the only one who's still alive in Legend of Korra and has been involved in some of the best episodes. Any movie about Katara could follow her as an adult as she possibly deals with Aang's death, or how she progresses as a mother. Whatever thread the writers decided to follow would probably be a big hit, and Katara would certainly benefit from her own solo show. This would allow audiences to really explore who Katara is when the focus is completely on her. Do you guys think she would benefit from a show solely focused on her? Let us know below. Next up, it's Toph. Stay tuned. Toph is one of the funniest characters in the entire show, so it stands to reason that a show based around her would probably do pretty well. Her attitude towards others is one of the reasons why we would love to see a show just about her. She can be incredibly snarky, and don't forget about how powerful she is too. Like most of the other characters, we think a show about Toph could potentially show how she's faring as an adult and how her life has progressed. It could possibly show how she comes to establish the metal binding capacity or the police force. However, some fans have suggested showing her in later life could dilute that hilarious attitude of hers and have claimed showing her just after the events of ATLA would be better. Do you agree? We're talking King Bumi next. Don't go anywhere. Of course, Bumi isn't one of the main characters, so probably wouldn't be top of the list for a spin-off show, but he would almost certainly be top of the list if we're choosing from supporting characters. Aang's childhood buddy is of course a powerful earthbender and was the inspiration for the naming of Aang and Katara's son, and whilst there is lots we could explore regarding the 100-Year War and how he came to power, any spin-off with King Bumi could also kill 2 birds with 1 stone in the sense that we could explore how the politics of Earth Kingdom actually work. Who's your favorite character from the original show? Mako and Bolin are up next. These 2 are great and showed some pretty strong growth throughout the series, and by the end of it are both detectives in the Republic City Police Force. Another popular pair of characters with fans, any potential spin-off with Mako and Bolin could easily focus on a huge crime to solve, with the 2 front and center. The pair would probably feature in Korra's spin-off, so we could probably expect Korra to appear in theirs at some stage. You could also go a completely different route and show the brothers during their youth, before meeting Korra, as they're running around in their street gangs. Any movie with Mako and Bolin as detectives would also give plenty of scope for other characters from the original to appear, to potentially lend a hand to the detectives, or hinder them. We have Avatar Wan coming through now. Stay with us. Avatar Wan is of course the first Avatar and provides some pretty exciting moments in the Legend of Korra due to his journey with Rava, and he's probably perfectly placed for his own standalone story thanks to the beauty of that particular story. I mean, it wouldn't involve too much twerking from the trajectory of the storyline, as we could simply pick up where we left off in Legend of Korra, showing Wan's battles with Vatu and his life as the Avatar following harmonic convergence. It would also allow us to delve into his psyche a little and see how the pressure that comes along with being the Avatar has affected him. Whatever happens, we would love love to see an Avatar 1 movie, and his legacy will almost certainly be acknowledged should they move ahead with a Kyoshi or Korra movie. Kuvira is joining us now. Stick around. Lurking in the background during Season 3, Kuvira came into her own as a baddie towards the end of the show, as she had her sights firmly fixed on controlling the Earth Kingdom. Of course, Kuvira is a pretty complex character, which in itself is great as it would provide plenty of material for her own show. And she's also one of the most powerful characters in Legend of Korra, so it would certainly make sense to explore her story a little more. Although she is definitely a villain, she does show some redeeming qualities in the comics, and if it's a redemption story the creative team are looking for, then who better than Kuvira? What do you guys think? Would this one work? Next up, we're talking Avatar Yang Chen. As we know, Avatar Kyoshi is a character who gets plenty of attention and is a firm fan favorite whose story is also explored in 2 recent novels. But Yang Chen has also recently been given the novel treatment in The Dawn of Yang Chen. There would be plenty of material to work with from the book, and exploring Avatar Yang Chen properly would surely be a pretty popular spin-off in the eyes of fans. Yang Chen died centuries before Aang came to be, and was responsible for a period of prolonged peace. It would certainly be interesting to explore this time period and the work she put into creating a peaceful world. It would also be interesting to compare both avatars from different time periods and how the challenges they faced differed, or stayed the same. Would you guys like to see an Avatar Yang Chen movie? And finally, it's Avatar Karuk, another character similar to Yang Chen who didn't receive a ton of airtime during the original show. Karuk's on-screen time was certainly essential to the development of Aang, if egregiously limited. We saw the Avatar impart his wisdom to the show's protagonist, so who knows what would have become of Aang had Karuk not decided to pass on his knowledge. And showing what a solid dude he really is, he would go on to do the same for Korra, imploring her to find Rava. He's also one of the chillest characters, or so we're led to believe. In the background, Avatar Karuk is actually trying to fight off a spiritual sickness, which we find out in the shadow of Kyoshi. As a result, he spends a lot of his time warding off dark spirits. Any movie would almost certainly have a lot of material to play with, and they could also look into how he dealt with his lover, Umi, being stolen by Ko the Face Stealer. Are you a Karuk fan? As always, thanks for dropping in on us today, and remember to tune in again next time when we'll be discussing all sorts of other great content. And why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video, while also subscribing to our channel. Bye guys!